everybody, welcome back. Did you have a nice break? Did you do anything exciting? We sat and ate chocolate, as you'd expect, because we've been talking about chocolate all morning, so we had to carry on talking and eating about chocolate throughout that little break in between. I'm hoping you're really looking forward to seeing what we're going to be doing in this craft along, because it is a stonker. It is an absolutely beautiful item. I got the memo with regards to colour scheme. Today. It's almost like I planned it to wear green today. Luckily enough, we've got a guest going to be joining us for the craft along today, so I'm really looking forward to that. But first of all, I'm going to introduce you to the lovely Debbie. Good afternoon, Debbie. How are you doing?
The chocolate feeder.
Yes,
the one that went out. I bought loads of chocolate in. So Dean, because I heard Dean go, huh? Because he wasn't with us, was he?
No.
Well, we're all sat round having his dinner.
Yeah.
So Dean, there's a picnic on the table for you. I've bought loads of chocolate because I got a phone call. Let me just explain.
Yeah.
Got a phone call from my son. Didn't realise it was National Chocolate Day, and he was saying, "Mum, can you bring some chocolate back in with you?" I was like, "There's a shop 2 minutes down the road." "Yeah, but I'm going to a boxing match." I'm like, "That's not till tonight, Liam." Because, you know, it's 2 minute walk to the shop.
Does he spend a lot of time preparing himself?
I think that's what it is. He's going to be preening himself and everything else. So I said, leave it with me, I'll get the chocolate. But what I had in mind was all the chocolate discussions we were talking about this morning. So I've brought picnics, boosts.
Bounties.
What's the other one? Bounties, yeah. So I brought those. So Dean, help yourself in the next break. Just so you can, and then the rest is going to the sun. And whether he likes it or not, that's the chocolate he's getting. Would you like to see the Craft Along project?
Absolutely.
Well, the thing is, none of us talked to each other this week.
No.
So we've all been making like boxes and boxes and more boxes, and I'm so sorry, but you've got a box today. And I've gone for an exploding box, but using the fabulous, the new dies, the box dies. Now, I've just used this for decoration purpose, so I'll give you a little spin because it is for the decoration purpose. You'll also note that
nice.
Some beautiful papers, which we'll talk about in a second as well. Used one of my favourite dies. So
it is your favourite, isn't it?
It is my favourite.
Is there a butterfly on there as well?
Do you know what? No.
Oh.
No. I've let you all down. There's no butterflies. Actually, now I'm opening up. I'm thinking, have I got a butterfly in there? But we are going for an exploding box with a fabulous little gift bag inside and also a little gift box inside as well. So it's full of sweet... full of sweeties. I was going to put some Ferrero Rocher in there, but... Have you seen the price of Ferrero Rocher?
Are they really expensive?
Oh, dear Lord. They're really expensive. So you've got a lovely little workable bag, and I'm going to show you how to do this. I launched these during birthday week. So we're going to make this beautiful little bag. As you can see, it's full of the same sweeties. Because I went for the cheapest option, Becky.
Why not?
Let's make no bones about it. Actually, I think I've crammed too many sweets in there. Let's see if I can get those...
Yeah, take some out. Take some more out.
Well, of course, we'll have to take a couple more out, won't we? There we go, Becky. That's better. But yeah, so we're going to be making this beautiful box during our Craft Along project, and I'm going to show you how to pop those lovely 3D box templates together and craft along. And this is your project that you're going to be making in the next 2 hours, which I can't wait to get started with.
Really looking forward to that. Looks absolutely gorgeous. Lots of people are saying hello. So Gail is in from Maryland. Marjorie says hi from a cold and wet Colorado. Stephanie says good morning from a warm, sunny New Jersey. Jeffrey says happy Saturday from a sunny and a warm 70 degrees day here in New Hampshire. Pat says hello from New Jersey. Gaz says good afternoon, Becky, Debbie and CTV crew. Our special crafty guest star and all my crafty friends. And Rhonda's here as well saying hello from Oak Park near Chicago. Speaking of guests, can we say hello to our guest? We've got Adriana here. Hello, Adriana. How are you?
Hello. How are you?
Very well, thank you. And where are you at the moment?
I'm in San Antonio, Texas.
Oh, wow. So we weren't sure where you were from, where you're going to be calling in from. So what time? Is it the middle of the night there now, or early morning?
No, it is 9:05 in the morning.
Oh, okay. So a reasonable time to get up and start crafting, definitely.
Yes.
Fantastic. And this is your first craft along, is that right?
Very first one.
Oh, that's exciting. Are you looking forward to this?
I'm so excited. I love making boxes.
Oh, good. Well, you're in the right place this week because
Yes.
it's all been about the boxes. It's brilliant. And as always, if there's any time when you get lost or you just want to go over something, put your hand up and we will come to you and say hello. Debbie wants to say hello to you as well before we get started. So, Debbie, pass over to you.
I do indeed. Good afternoon. Oh, good morning, Adrienne. I know you're excited. Don't be afraid of anything, though. It's going to be a lovely experience, and I hope you're going to enjoy this project as well. I do love making boxes. I know we've made a fair few this week, but I'm really pleased to hear that you are too. Adrian, can I ask you a couple of questions? How long have you been crafting?
How what?
How long have you been crafting?
Oh, you know what? I've been crafting since I was a little girl. I didn't realize it until you guys started asking in the shows. And I remember getting old pantyhose and old socks and sewing them to make tube dresses for my Barbie dolls.
I love that.
I worked at I'm a teacher. I now work teaching my teachers. So they're my students now. You know, I go and observe them and I tell them how to, improve their teaching craft. But I worked at daycares when I was in college, and I would make gatefold cards for the parents for every holiday. But I had to fold and measure and throw them away and restart over. So I didn't have an Ultimate Pro back then.
Oh, bless you. Well, I love hearing people's backstories and how they got into crafting and what they do now. So it's really lovely to meet you, and I hope this won't be your first and last time. I hope we don't put you off, and I hope you will come back and join us again. But I'm going to throw back to Becky because I'm going to get her ready to get started and get those measurements going. Have you got all your papers ready and all your cardstock?
Yes, I'm going to be using fall colors because I don't have the special papers that you have.
Lovely.
But it's going to be a Halloween fallish gift for my 3-year-old niece.
Oh, I love that. That's going to be fabulous. I can't wait to see your take on it. I'll throw you back to Becky, Adrian, and I'll see you very soon.
Thank you. Likewise.
Oh, brilliant. Looking forward to this. So today's craft along are all about the dies that you can just see here. You've got a set of 4 here. The first one is your dress to impress, which is this one here. Then you've got the little handbag. We've also got the gingerbread kind of cottagey house at the bottom. And then finally, we've got the Christmas tree there. To show you what they look like on the boards, this is what they will look like here. So these are all the dies that you'll be getting. You've got that overall kind of die here for the Christmas tree here. Sorry, you've got the dies here to create the little panels on the Christmas trees, and you've got templates for you to cut through and score through. You've also got all of these other little bits of metalwork, so all these little embellishments which are going to be so very useful to you throughout the whole of the year. So that is your Christmas tree. This next one here is the bag here, so the little handbags that you saw Debbie having inside her box, again with all of those little embellishments, all those extra bits and pieces. So you've got the templates over here, which if you've got the template library, you'll be very familiar with that kind of template, as well as all of those little dies for the decoration. This one is that cottage, which I think is absolutely gorgeous. Obviously you've got Christmassy kind of dies here, but you could make it for any kind of new home, maybe something like that. And then finally this is the one with the dress on it, that little sort of ball gowny kind of dress. And as you're going to see with Debbie using this later on, we're going to use this as an embellishment rather than a particular box. So the price for all 4 of these is £42.60 or $49.03. Your platinum price is £34.08 or $39.22. Loads of other people are saying hello. Lois says hello everyone from Ohio. Denise says hello to all my crafty friends from Virginia. I hope you're all well. Marianne says boxes are good. I think they are. Jonelle says good morning from a very chilly Washington state. Can only watch for a few minutes as I have to head off to work. Oh dear. You'll be able to catch up with us later though, obviously. Rachel Brown says good afternoon everyone. And Gaz says who doesn't love a box? I think you're right. Boxes are really, really useful. Right, we need to let you know what you need for this craft along. Debbie, do you want to go through your recipe
I can
list?
do, yeah, because now I've got my new glasses, Becky. I can
You can see it now. Fantastic.
So what you're going to need are your 3D box dies. Now I've chosen to use the beautiful bag and the dress to impress, and of course this is your craft along, so you could adapt that however you want to. I've also taken one of the little dies from the Wild at Heart collection, which is the Oh So Glam die set, and that's that lovely set of nesting dies that are in there. There's the With Love mini die, which you know because I talk about it all the time, one of my favourite dies. Now I've used the Ultimate Pearl paper pads, so the 12 by 12, which was the Botanic Garden and the Rainbow Pearlescent cardstock. You can use any 12 by 12 or any, to be fair, Centura Pearl. I'm going to give you the measurements, so it doesn't necessarily have to be those 2 paper pads if that's not your choice. And as have you heard, our lovely Adrienne is using something completely different. You absolutely can choose what you want. If you've got those gorgeous papers from the, I call it the pretty paper set, but you know what I mean, don't you?
Yeah, I know what gleaming.
You could use those as well. I've chosen to use Centura Pearl, Snow White Hint of Silver, multi-purpose cardstock as well. And then I've used the mini for this because obviously the bag die is not, it's not a die, it's a template. So, and I will show you how you can template and do that later on in the show. But for now, you're just going to need your mini die cutting machine, your large guillotine or your small guillotine. Either way, I'll be able to talk you around whichever one it is that you've got. The Scoremaster, the scissors, pencil and eraser if you're going to draw it the old-fashioned way. If you want me to show you how to do it through the Gemini, I absolutely will cover that one as well. Then there's the colour, all-purpose, some tacky glue, red liner tape, foam pads, and gems are optional. Yeah.
Fantastic. Excellent. Right. Can we get started? Are we going to be ready in a second to get going?
No, I'm ready.
Yeah, ready?
I'm ready. A bit like Liam then.
I'll get started. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I love a box.
I love a box. I've actually changed my mind because I constructed mine out of multi-purpose cardstock.
Yeah.
But now I've got the Centura Pearl with the hint of gold that Tracy so kindly lent me. I'm going to make it out of that.
Why not?
Because you can. It is entirely up to you. So we'll start with in fact, do you know what we'll start with?
Yeah.
We'll start with the bag itself.
Okay.
So I'm going to use that lovely, beautiful bag, and I'm going to show you how easy these are to construct. I will show you, because when you take these out, you'll notice that I've got a set of dies, and we are going to be using some elements of the dies on there. You've got your little bag. I always you can never see it on this sort of paper. There you go, you can see it a bit better there. You've got your handle, and then you've also got what's called the little clasp, or the front, the front over fastening. That's on there as well. Now it does have cut 1, cut 2, which is what I'm going to show you. But I'll show you one with pencil and one through the Gemini, so that you can have a little play on how you can emboss it and make it that little bit easier, so that then you don't have to use a pencil and you don't have to use an eraser.
Can you use that with any of the templates?
Yes. Yeah.
So the template library?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Look
I
at
didn't
Becky's
know that.
face, like a little...
Yeah.
I love that, Becky. I love that reaction. Yes, you can.
Wow.
And I'll show you. But for the first one we're going to do, I am going to draw around this template. So I'm going to move that because I've noticed there's a little mark just at the top. Now, when you take this on, it's very, very easy to do this, Becky. You simply hold it down, and then you're just going to draw around with your pencil, like so. And we're going to do that all the way around the whole of this template. And then again, lighter the pencil the better as well, because sometimes with erasers they don't always rub the markings out very clearly. So I think it's nice to be able to just do a nice light marking.
I use my heat erasable pens.
I know you. Yeah, when we did a show together, you were telling me about those.
Oh, I think they're brilliant. Because I always agree with you. I think an eraser, they often are quite grubby, and they tend to sort of move that mucky mark around the paper rather than getting rid of it completely. Especially if you've pinched the eraser from your children.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Now, I'm going to put these in. Now, when you're drawing these lines, I always choose either the top or the bottom. As long as you keep it to the same, you're absolutely fine. So I'm going to choose the bottom one to do this to. This is just where we're going to score. And I'm going to apologise now because it's the minute we get set inside this studio.
Well, I think it's because we're sort of straining our voices a bit, aren't we? Because you're talking louder than you would do normally.
I am, and I do apologise.
Friends.
I do apologise. I've got plenty of cold water underneath. Now, we're going to do the same with this one as well. So while we've got this piece of cardstock, we're going to make the most of it. So just take it up to the very edge, and you can come in and make sure that you're getting the most out of your cardstock, and simply draw around. So I'm not having to draw on the top because I've got that there. Again, I'm just going to choose the bottom line on this one, just to put that little faint pencil mark in, and then we're going to come round and draw around this template. And then we've got the same with the bag handle as well. So again, because I've laid it flat up to there, I don't have to take this line because it's already there. So it's just about getting the most out of your cardstock. So because if I do it that way, I'm going to waste all that. So I'm going to come down this side and draw around that as well. But then I'll show you for the second one, rather than drawing the template twice, I will show you how, again, you can use your Gemini to emboss the template with.
Well, that's clever.
It's so clever, Becky.
Never thought
honestly.
about that.
I've always done it with stencils. Completely forgot you could do it with templates. Oh, do you know me and my drawing today? You'll have to excuse me. Because when you take this off, you're going to see.
So you could do that, like you say, with your stencil, so you'd almost get like an embossing kind of...
Yeah, it embosses into it for you. So, yeah, it embosses that in. You can see me little errors just down at the bottom where I moved it. Now, when people ask me about templates, do you want to squirt the, do you know, the all-purpose, not all-purpose, stick and spray, the repositional spray, you absolutely can, but it's not worth it.
No.
For me, it's not worth it. So I'm going to show you on the second part. That's why I'm just taking it from one sheet of that cardstock. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to separate this right now, and then I'm going to show you that method, and then you can choose which way you want to do this. So whilst I've got those there, we'll leave those there for a second. We'll cut round them in a minute, but I just want to show you how to do this. So, if you've got your Gemini, you're not using your Mini, you can bring in now and I'll bring in the right combination. We've got what we call the cutting plate. And you're going to place, first of all, your template onto the top of that cutting plate. So, look, I'll do it that way around. Still trying to work out who's put them on there. It shouldn't affect it because I'm going to put it down here, Becky. Yeah. Now, at the moment, you can't see it. It's almost gone invisible on top of that plate. However, what we're going to do is the Centura Pearl that's got, and don't forget on Centura Pearl, one side's like the multi-purpose cardstock, the other side's where the shine is. You're going to put the shine down onto the top of that. Okay. So you're turning it around onto it. And you would do that with any of your coated cardstock or pattern papers or anything like that you want to emboss into. And then what we're going to do is place the rubber embossing mat onto the top of that. At this stage, if you want to take that down, you absolutely can tape it down. So by that I mean, let me just show you what I mean by that. You could take this in now, get the right way around, Debbie, and just pop a little bit of low-tack tape just to hold it and secure it into place. It won't affect anything, but it'll stop it from moving when you Gemini. So now if I just flip reverse that again, it's still the same. The template is on the bottom plate. The cardstock with the Centura Pearl is facing on top of that. Then you've got the rubber embossing mat. Then we're going to use the plastic shim, and then we're going to bring in the other cutting plate. So for anybody wanting to do this rather than doing it by the drawing method, that's the plate combination. Okay. And then you just run that through your Gemini. So you've got options, and that's with all of these bag templates. So all of the 3D bag templates you can do this with. If you're not comfortable or confident with a pencil drawing around your template, you can cheat. Yeah. And it does it for you. Yeah. And the lovely thing about it is as well, it also puts in the score lines. So with the pencil one here, we're going to use our scoreboards, which is why I've chosen the scoreboard onto the shopping list, so to speak, or the ingredients that you need. But when you take that off, and can you see, it's not affected anything, but what it's done is it's put the score line in. If I turn it that way, you might be able to, is it that way better?
That way's better, yeah.
There you go. So you can see the outline, the score lines that have been put in there, so you could do that as well. So that's just for that method, if for those who don't want to do this one. So now is the stage where we're going to get our scissors and we're going to cut round it.
Excellent.
So I'm just going to separate these because rather than try and do them all in one go, I want to separate them up. So I'm going to take my scissors and just chop around there. Okay. Now, again, you could use your guillotine in certain areas. You wouldn't be able to do it on this side, and the only reason being is you could do with a paper trimmer, Becky, but not a guillotine, because a guillotine takes it a clean all the way down. A paper trimmer, you can stop it, so you can stop at that point and then move on and turn it around. I'm comfortable with scissors, so I'm going to use my scissors. Now, what you could do, if I get the big scissors, let's bring the big scissors in for a second.
So Michelle always uses the world's biggest scissors, doesn't she? They're
does.
Almost like the comedy scissors you use for cutting a ribbon.
I've got a pair of them, but mine are rainbow coloured. Michelle's are rose gold, mine are rainbow coloured. So they were in Sarah's signature ranges a long time ago. So they've got like a flat bottom, the material scissors. They're in the sew collections that she did. These are our scissors that have got markings on. So you can take a look at that and roughly you know that it's a little bit, well, just a little bit bigger than 3, but you could go feel comfortable and do one fail, clean, snip, top to bottom. So that gives you that clean cut straight away. Yeah. And then I transfer then to my little ones just because there's only a little bit more.
Okay, so you use a mixture of different sizes.
Yeah, I suppose it depends what you're comfortable with, really. To be fair, I tend to just use the one pair of scissors when I'm cutting around my templates because it is quite straightforward. But it's, again, it's those choices that you have.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to cut all of that away. I'll probably save that for a bit later. And then I'm going to come in and exactly the same. Now, these are the flaps or the tabs that are tucked in and join up your bag. So don't worry too much if your line isn't very straight, because it's not going to really affect it that much. What you need to be careful on, and I say a bit careful of, not on, that's my Yorkshire accent slipping in there, is that you're going onto a curve. So when you come into the curve, just start and move your cardstock. Don't move your scissors, move your cardstock. So try and keep your scissors in one straight angle and turn the cardstock. And it aims for a cleaner cut.
Okay.
At that point, you could use your craft knives. You can take a craft knife and use the craft knife if you want to use the craft knife. Again, I think it's down to the personal choice. So nice clean cut, and you'll get a better, straighter cut when you do like that method. So again, I'm going to turn, have you noticed I'm turning the cardstock? My scissors are practically staying in the same position. And then a nice, clean cut. There you go. Now that's as easy as that bit is. And we're going to repeat that, and I'll just do it exactly the same. But of course, all you're doing is following the scoreline now. So it's exactly the same, Becky. Let's come in with those big ones again. And we'll get that straight. And again, like I said, the cleaner, the straighter the edge it will be. I'm just going to get rid of that excess bit. Those nice straight snips rather than little. And what I mean by that, Becky, is that you're not going to take, let me bring that small piece of cardstock in. You're not going to do like a little bit at a time. You're not going to take your scissors and just go, because it's a bit more, it's not as, whereas a nice clean gives you a really nice clean edge rather than the small. You'll know what I mean by that, Becky, especially in your world. Yeah, so just try and bear that in mind when you're doing your cutting.
Okay.
And exactly the same. Must have got some glue on that one. Oh yeah, I've got a bit of tape on there. And then we're just going to trim that all the way around. Oh, you can see I've must have got a bit on there because it keeps sticking in that area. Ah, look, a bit of double-sided sticky on there. I thought that was a bit strange. So I'm going to come in, and all I'm doing is following those score lines again. Nice and easy. And it really shouldn't be too much hard work, this, because they're all in there for you. It's just that case of following the line around, and exactly the same, I'm turning the cardstock. I'm not turning my scissors, I'm turning the cardstock. And you get a much more of a better finish to your curvy edge there. So again.
Geraldine asks, can you emboss templates with the MIDI?
Ooh, that is a good question. I would say no.
Right.
Because the only plate combination you've got there is your plastic folder.
Yeah.
So that is a very good question. No.
Okay.
You need a rubber embossing mat, because the rubber embossing mat is the bit that squishes into there. A plastic folder has got nothing to, unless you put your, I mean, I've never personally done it, only because I wouldn't want to try that and then break my machine.
Yeah.
But do you know where you put like your rubber embossing mat into it? Because it needs something to resist into. It needs to push into that rubber, which is why I personally wouldn't try it myself, because I would be terrified I'd break the machine.
Yeah.
And you don't want to break your machine.
No.
At all. So I'm just going to come round these. I am going to use my guillotine at this stage because I want nice straight edges on my handles. I'm not going to even anywhere near try to attempt that by hand cut. Of course, if you are confident with it, you absolutely can. So again, I'm going to turn the cardstock, keep the scissors going until the very end, and then just bring that back down. And then again. So that is the flap of the card, the front flap of the card. We've got one template that's already got the score lines in. We'll put the score lines in here in a second, and then we'll just pop now, and I'll use my large guillotine for this. But I'm going to use that pencil edge as a guide to where, and you'll get a much better finish on your handle when you use a large guillotine. At that stage, I'm just going to trim that little bit off. And again, I'm just going to line it up. Now, where your pencil mark is, line it up to the very edge here. This is the edge of the blade. When these blades connect together, that's where you get that cut. So that's how you always guide and straighten up. So the bottom pencil mark is at the bottom and that one's at the top, but it's on a nice straight. And anything that's you know, if you've got any of those pencil marks that you want to rub off, we'll rub those off in a second, which I can see a couple, but I'm not going to put it back through guillotine. And then I'm just going to finish it off with that lovely little curve on the bottom of the handle using the scissors. If you don't want that curl, then don't put it in. Just keep it straight. Won't make any difference to your bag at all. And then all I'm going to do is get my eraser and take off those pencil marks that I can see just by taking that off. Now, on these two, I'm not going to take those off just yet because what I'm going to do is score. So this is when you're going to bring your scoreboard into place. And we're going to now use, and this is when we'll talk about our scoreboards having this marker pen. It's a permanent marker, it's a Sharpie pen that we've popped down there. It enables you to physically see where you need to put that. So from that angle, I can see that I'm on that edge of that black line. So taking your scoring tool, just make sure I've got that on the same line there. We're going to pop that score line in. Just a couple of times. And then the same down this straight one, line it up through the top and the bottom using that as the guide. A couple of gentle score lines into there. And the same with these tabs. And you're just going to mark it from there all the way down. Let me just make sure I've got that line. Well, it won't affect it too much because, again, this is just the side of the box and they're the flaps that tuck in. And then, again, I'm just going to take that, line that pencil mark up to this one, that pencil mark down to that one, and score.
It's so much easier having that black line there, isn't it?
Yes. Anything that's got, you know, like you... Oh, I'll put it away, Becky, and I need it again. Anything that has got like a different angle to it that you want to be able to physically see where you're popping it, it's always handy to have one on. And then again, I'm just going to do the same for this. I'm just pop that in. And this is when now you can take the pencil marks off, take your rubber, your eraser, sorry, and pop that, rub those out like so. And the same with this one. So I know I've got a little bit there, so I'm just going to take that off. And then just take...
Rachel Brown says, Sarah embossed a stencil in the Mini the other day by using a folded up paper towel as a cushion. I tried it and it works quite well.
Fabulous. Thank you for sharing that, Rachel, because I wouldn't, I'd be too scared to do it myself.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to break my MIDI, sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, because it doesn't have, like, it's only got the two plate combination. It's got the folder that does all the die cutting, and it's got the purple shim or now the clear shim in the new one. The new one? Oh, that's the Mini. That's the Mini, isn't it? Yeah, the purple one in the MIDI is for embossing folders only. So yeah. So, but if Sarah's done that and it works, that's absolutely fine. Now we'll show you on this one. This is the one that we run through the embossing. The embossing's already in. You don't have to do anything. You're just teasing it. So when I say teasing it, you're just folding it over because the score line's already been put in through your template.
Oh, it's much
so
easier doing it that way, isn't it?
Well, can you see now why I do it that way?
Yeah.
The pencil for me is it's a little bit more work involved.
Yeah.
This is just one run of your machine and it's all on there. And even the score lines, I've not even had to use a scoreboard at this stage, and that will work on all of your templates. So I will gladly repeat that combination for anybody who missed it or wanted a repeat of it, but it's a very simple combination. But again, all of those are in there for you. And I've not had to use an eraser or a pencil at that point. Of course, with this one, all we're doing is exactly the same. Taking our little burnishing tool and we're popping those. I thought I'd rubbed all those out then, Becky. I clearly haven't. There we go. That's those out. Pop that down. And then we'll do the same to burnish, and it gives a really nice finish to your bag. And then we're ready for constructing because we've got both sides of our bags now ready. Oh. Oh. I'll get it right in a minute, Becky. We've got all of those ready. I'm just going to put the score lines just into place there as well and just put the burnishing. So at that point, if we need for people to catch up, then absolutely we can do at this stage. So yes.
Before we go to a quick break, I have got a question. Charlotte asks, could you use the corner punches to get the curve at the end of the handle?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, you could. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant.
Yeah, that's
Excellent.
a nice idea.
Fantastic. Right, we'll give you the opportunity to catch up. We'll have a quick break and we'll see you in a couple of moments.
Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products with live tutorials and demonstrations. Join our family of craft experts where fun happens every day.
Are we in trouble or are we all right? Should be coming in. Should be coming.
What does she do?
Exactly
What
how
does she do?
he looks.
This is awesome. This is awesome.
Get creative and craft along. With our amazing deals, your next craft project is just a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week, or you can watch us on Catch Up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook, or our YouTube channels. You can chat to us, craft along, and meet new friends by joining our online crafting community.
And I watch you every day, and it's just what really gets you through when you're really at rock bottom.
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. Crafters TV, create every day.
Pokey tools and paper pads, gilding, wax and stamping mats, scissors, glitter, builder blocks, faux snow fabric, rocker blocks, Bria's misters, quilting clips, and die brush tools, precision snips, finger daubers, acetates, stencils, glue guns and templates, Gemini Pro, Julia and the OG, Gemini Go, Mini and the MIDI, dry blend, brush pens, aqua pens and aqua blends, illustrators, classics and dry blends and color blends and glitter pens and sparkle pens, outliner pens. Fine tip glue applicators, envelopers, creators, stamping platforms, boxer boards, a big score and scoreboard, Nina card and craft card, glitter card, matte black card, graphics, wadding and adhesive sheets, glass mats, guillotines and pen trays, bottle dice and zinc trays, miter tools and binding tools and toe bags, USBs, bone folders and punches, low-tuck tape, paint brushes, stamens, mountboard, flower forming foam, outline markers, DVDs, spell quick writing pads and CDs, gilding flakes and washi tape, tacky glue, red liner tape, craft and sport press, sparkle pots, Centura pan and sticky dots, pigment ink pads, chunky glue, body bags, all-purpose glue, embossing folders, blending tools, storage folders, much more too. Water reactive ink pads, body bags, craft magnets, year of craft and glue, stick and spray and stick away, dotty tape and split pens, acrylic paint pens, tape pens, watercolor card, rotary cutters, magazines and stamping card, ultimate Pro and the rotating design board, Ultimate First Compendium, Sarah Signature Collections, and don't forget Discovery Kits. Oh, and there's foam pads, think that's it. One final thing, foam on a roll. Foam on a roll.
I love that song. It makes me want to dance for about a quarter of a second, and then I realise now I'm too tired to do any dancing. But it does make you want to have a go do the can-can. That was my can-can, like that. Well, we're going to go and see how Adriana's doing in a moment and get back to the craft salon. But while we've got this opportunity, I wanted to show you this, this kit that we've got here. This is your essential crafting kit, so your essential tool kit. If I open it up, you can have a look and see exactly what you're going to be getting in here, because this makes a great gift, she says, trying to pull it out, for a new crafter, or perhaps somebody that is starting to do a bit of paper craft and hasn't done anything before. So you get a self-healing mat, a mini one, which is quite useful. But I remember Jan saying a little while ago that we all work on a piece of a space that's only 6 inches square. It doesn't matter how big our desk is, because we have all the detritus all around us, but this is basically the size that we tend to work at. You'll also be getting a little metal ruler. You'll also be getting some snips, some precision tweezers. You'll be getting a pokey tool, and you'll also be getting a craft knife in there as well. So it really does make for an ideal gift for someone that's just beginning to do a bit of crafting. This is £19.99 or $24.95. Your platinum price is £15.99 or $19.96. That's a great little stocking filler, that particular one, isn't it? I really like that. We're going to see how Adriana is doing. Hello, Adriana, how are you doing? Keeping up with the craft along?
I'm Keeping up, yes. I did make a boo-boo. I'm tracing in the bag so I don't have to erase the pencil marks, but I did the 2 originally of the same side, so I was able to catch up. I've got the right sides now.
You're in great company.
You are?
Because, go on, Debbie.
Because I did the same thing. I just said to the guys, "Now my bag's not putting together." I did the same thing, Adrian. It's like, oh, that's what I was just redoing just then in the break. That's hilarious.
So I have 3 of them.
Snap. So do I. I've got 3 now. Oh, great minds think alike, let me tell you.
Well, I suppose it's a good thing to bring up because actually it's quite an easy thing to do that mistake, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely it is. Yeah, definitely.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Well, we'll catch up with you a little bit of time, Adriana. If you've got a problem, just put your hand up so we can stop. And if you've got any questions, let us know. Right, should we carry on with the craft?
Yes, yeah, because we'll decorate. We'll put the bag together. We'll decorate it.
Yeah.
Now, normally we'll tell you when we make bags and boxes, we tell you to decorate it in its flat stage. It's entirely up to you. At this point, I'm not. I'm going to make it. I'm going to do it when it's all
done.
I was going to say all done.
I know what you mean.
Constructed. That's what I meant. When it's all constructed. I'm getting worse as I get older, I swear I am. But I think what we'll do is we'll do a little bit of cutting. So this is when you're going to choose your paper.
Yeah.
Because if you take a look at my little bag, I've not gone OTT because I've got that gorgeous Centura pearl. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to keep it quite classy. So I've only used a couple of items that are on there. And you can see my little flower ones actually covered my little curvature up. So it didn't really matter to me if I'd put the curve in or not, because I popped some flower dies over the top, which actually come within your dies, because this is where your dies are. So I'm going to take those 2 florals off. I'm going to take these 2 corner pieces, go at the corner of the handbag. I'm going to use the bow, and I'm going to use the tail. And I'm also going to use the trim at the bottom. Anything else? That's just for other decoration on whatever style bag that you're going with. Because don't forget, there's many different styles that you can choose at this point. Now, just push those to one side. So I'm choosing paper. I'm saying paper. I'm choosing the cardstock because the cardstock that I chose was from the very beautiful Ultimate Pearl paper pads. And I say paper, there's nothing paper about this. It's proper good quality card. It's got that lovely shine on there as well because it's pearl essence. Yes, thank you. My God, what is wrong with me and my words? So I'm going to bring in my mini. And I'm going to bring in a... Now then, have we got any mini plates in here? Yes, we have. Fabulous. Oh, I've got a brand new mini plate. Oh, feel honoured. And so what I'm going to do is, and actually at this point as well, I am going to use... I've chosen green because I'm writing to my greens at the minute. I've chose the matching green. You can choose any papers you want. For the trim at the bottom of the bag, I'm going to have it plain, and then all my other pieces are going to be patterned. Okay. So my trim is going to have 2 of these, and I'm just going to take a sliver. I say a sliver because I'm actually going to cut it through, and I think with the power of the mini, I'll still be able to get 2 die-cut pieces out of this. Oh, okay. So let's just get those 2 pieces and attach them both together. And I should, if I remember rightly, I did this at the home the other night when I was making this. And I'm going to pop that in, hold it into place, and then bring my mini. And that means I can get 2 of those trims through one pass. So let's just pop that through. And hopefully that'll have cut through both. Yeah, no problem. No problemo. That's the power of that little mini machine. So that's my 2 trims done. And then I'm going to have, with my floral section, so I'm going to cut myself some down to size. But again, because quality of this cardstock, but also the power of the machine, I'll be able to get a couple out of this at the same time as well. So I'm going to snip that in half and pop those 2 together. Back into the folder. I always twist and turn mine, so I cut on that side, so now I'm going to cut on the other side. Okay. It's the same. I try and remember to do this when I'm at home. I'm going to try and remember as well when I'm in the studio, because I think it makes a little bit of a difference if you look after your plates. So I'm just going to run those 2 pieces through first. I've actually going to be doing 2 bows there, and I don't really need 2 bows, but it don't matter. It'll be fine. I can always save another one. And then run that through. And that will have cut through those pieces as well. So if I pop those out, I've got my 2 flowers. I suppose it depends on how many flowers you want to do, to be fair. We are going to be using them again later on, so we'll come back to those. And then I'm just going to finish off now with a couple of the tails. So I'm going to get that patterned again. And then I'm going to do the 2 corners as well at the same time. So I'll put 2 pieces together. I've got my 2 tails, because that's going to cut the 2 tails out. And then actually that's going to cut out 4 corner pieces, which is what I want. I'm trying not to be too wasteful there, because I think you can get more, I could get more flowers out of that, couldn't I? Yeah, of course you could, Debbie.
Yeah.
Talking to myself, I am.
No, I'm
You'll have to
listening to
excuse
you.
me, Becky. I'm like this at home. I sit in my craft room, I chitter away to myself, and then I'm just going to run that through as well. And then remember and be mindful when you're using your plate, switch it over to the other one. So all the time, and that way you'll get more use out of your plastic folder as well by switching, reversing and flipping, because the 4 cutting sides there. I'm just going to move that to one side for now, because I think I'm okay for the patterns that's coming onto the bag. Right, let me make sure I've got all of those. That's 1, that's 2. Yeah, move those to one side. And then that should be it for now. We will be using those again, those flower dies. But for now, I should have 4 corners. Let's just make sure I have. There we go. 4 corners, 2 bows, but I only need 1, so I'm going to move 1 out of the way, or actually choose which one I want. I like that one better. I've got the 2 tails that are going to go underneath the bow. Yeah, that looks about right.
Yeah.
So, and I did say that you could construct this together, or you could decorate it first. I'm going to decorate it, I think, while I've got it in this stage.
Okay.
And I'm going to pop on the front. The straight edge is going to go to the bottom. This is when you're going to use your tacky glue. So I've got my tacky glue decanted into my fine tip applicator. At this stage, you can choose whatever glue. The reason I always put all of the glues on there, Becky, is it's a personal choice.
Yeah.
I do tend, though, to use lots of different glues. Matting and layering, you'll see me using all purpose. Red liner, you'll probably see me using for the construction. So I tend to do this when I'm creating a project. So I'm going to pop that onto that side and then put the 2 corners in place. And this is when you can, I mean, I'm going to have that pattern because I do like that pattern. And then just decorate. I love this for this reason. These lovely little decoration dies I think are really sweet.
It's a nice little extra, isn't it?
Oh, it is. Absolutely. Absolutely it is. And look, they look lovely. It's those little finishing touches, and it's what makes your bag stand out as well. I mean, I've already used the Wild at Heart papers to make one of these. The pretty papers to make one, you know, for the pattern as well. I'm just going to make sure that holds first, because tacky glue, it's one of those that takes a few seconds to hold, but once it's grabbed, it sticks and it's not going anywhere. So I'll just pop that down. And then I'm going to turn, so that's going to be on this side of the box when it comes up. So I'm just going to bring this one in, that way, and then do exactly the same on this one. So let's pop that in. Oh, do you know what I forgot to include on my shopping list?
What?
A little clasp for me handbag.
Oh.
Oh, I wonder if I had Tracy's around. I wonder if Tracy could get hold of for me. Do you know the hook and loop?
Yeah.
I wonder if she's got some of those hanging around. Yeah, I could do with one of those actually. You could use magnets to hold your handbag flap. Oh, to hold it into place.
Yes,
you know,
I know what you mean.
To seal it, to close the bag, to give it that professional look.
Clasp.
Clasp. I love that, Becky, clasp. I love that word.
So I'm looking at that handbag and I'm thinking I'd be scoring lines all the way across to make it look like one of those quilted bags.
I love it. Well, do you know, you could even emboss.
Oh, really?
You could emboss. So you could take one of your embossing folders, emboss the bag.
Oh,
I've
that's
seen it in the
nice.
studded leather. Oh, she's an angel, bless her. Thank you very much, Tracy. Thank you. So I'm just going to pop that now because I've got the little bit of decorations that I want. What we'll do now is I'm going to put, in fact, before we put that together, I'm going to put my bow together. So turn your bow over. And then we're just going to attach. So I'm going to pop a little bit of wet glue because it can be drying while we're putting this bag together. I'm just going to attach onto there the 2 tails. So we're going to pop 1 and 2. This way you can use your tweezers. I mean, I've often said I'm not very good with tweezers, although I am patiently waiting my new craft essential kit.
So when we were doing that earlier on, you're like me, I use my hands.
Yes.
I don't use tweezers, but other people I notice use tweezers all the time.
They do, yeah.
Just personal preference.
It's personal preference, yeah. So that's my little bowl put together. So I'm going to leave that to dry just over there for a second because it is wet glue that I've used. And I'm just going to put my pin back in because I've realised I've popped it down and it's all seeping through. Terrible. I'll do it at home and then think, where's that glue come from? It's because I didn't put the pin back in. That's why Craig has his into some wet tissue.
Yeah.
So that it doesn't dry up and also it doesn't have to worry about the pin.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Because it is a good one, that one, because I'm shocking for it. This is when you're going to use, because I'm going to pop, at this point, I'm going to pop a couple of my gems in. Now, I usually carry a little tub of gems around with me. But I've had a clear out in
Debbie,
my bag.
you're a woman after my own heart.
Well, I've had a clear out, Becky. So I've only got me only the few that I carry around with me, shall we say. Which one shall I go for? Choices. Ooh, I think that gold will look nice. I use, oh yeah, they'll look lovely. I'm going to go with that one. Anybody who knows me, I'm the same as Craig. I love Unky Dory. We don't do gems.
No.
We might have them in collections and things like that, but
Yeah.
I do tend to use a lot of Unky Dory gems. I can't help it. I love them. And they're great friends of ours here anyway, aren't they? So I'm just going to pop a couple of those into the flowers. Oh, come here, you little rascal.
Or I suppose you can make your own with the glitter glue.
Well, Becky, it's like you read my mind. You could use glitter glue. Do you know what else you could use?
Yeah.
You could use hot glue and then sprinkle glitter over them and create your own gems. Or you could use clear glossy highlights. You could do the same with that and sprinkle some in there as well. You could do that. Yeah, choices. Now, I've just popped a couple into there. So what I'm just going to do is now we're going to join these two together. And now my faux pas has been corrected. What we're going to do is, and again, construction work, it depends what you're popping in here, to be fair. I'm going to use a bit of red liner tape for this bit. So I'm just going to line mine up. You can use our super strong glue if you want to do. Again, it's your choice. I know Michelle likes to use wet glue and then she holds it down with pegs. Because I was watching her the other day and she would just, every single time she used a construction, that's exactly what she did. But I'm going to use a little bit of red liner tape. Oh, you're not going to cut the die, Debbie. Did you see the die then? Stick to me scissors.
Rhonda says, where's your magnetic die stand?
I haven't got one, Rhonda.
I didn't manage to get one.
Are they still in stock?
Oh, are they still in stock now?
I don't know.
I thought they sold out. I missed out on them. And I haven't, it's one of those things that I thought, I've missed out.
So that's a job we can wake producer Dean up with. Get him having a little look on the website for us. Are you listening, Dean?
Magnetic?
Have a little look on the website for us. We've got him in a trance, haven't we, at the minute? Magnetic, what's it called again? Die stand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have a little look for us, Dean, so we know if it is, because me and Becky both want one.
Those little tiny dies, it's absolutely ideal for, aren't they?
Oh my God, yes. Absolutely. I saw it and I thought, oh no, it'll be fine. I can get one at any time. I can. But yeah, I hadn't realised that it was, because it did so well, didn't it? I think it launched first in America.
Yeah. If
I remember rightly. Right, so tape off. Oh, it's sold out. Rhonda UTs. That's the one, Dean, yeah, that is the one. Now, put my tape onto there. Actually, to give yourself a little bit of wiggle movement so you can get all your things into place, pop a little bit of wet glue over the top, which I know you think's bizarre, but have I not opened my wet glue? Seriously, Becky. I'm thinking, why is my wet glue not coming out? There we go, just pop a little bit of wet glue over. Gives me a bit of wiggle time. So what we're going to do is the straight edge is going to go just underneath the fold, and the same with this straight edge, just underneath the fold. You don't want it at this stage to be over. So just turn that round, you can get that little bit of wiggle time to get that into place.
Lovely. Maggie says, I love it when you talk to yourself, Debbie. And Shadiah says, Debbie, I'm the queen of talking to myself when crafting. I do not even care who hears me. And all hunky-dory gems, I'm a hoarder of those too. I think everyone loves a gem, and like Debbie says, we don't tend to have very many of them unless you get them in like a big pack with a load of other, as a collection.
I'm so sorry, this cough. I do apologise if I'm coughing away and seriously, I'm getting annoyed at myself for this cough.
Don't worry, we've all been there.
I've taken the red liner tape off.
Yep.
What we're going to do now is, and just for the time being, we're going to concentrate on one side. So you're going to bring up that tab. Now, when you join this box together, you do not want it, and I'm going to hold it down for a minute, you don't want the join to be inside. So you want it just to be fairly up to about, I usually talk about it when I'm coming in taking that top point just up to that top point there. So by that I mean, let me just bring it in at an angle so you can see what I mean. I've taken it and came up to the very top, can you see?
Oh, so just go straight, you're not trying to get it around that curve?
No,
right.
no, because otherwise you're going to end up with that showing at the front of your box, and you don't want to do that. So again, I'm just going to take it up to this top point here, where my thumbnail is, this one, and then you know that you've got a really good, nice connection, but nothing showing. Now at the minute, when we turn that round, we just do exactly the same. So we're going to turn it round, and I'm going to do exactly the same with, and I'm trying to do one at a time, but the other one naturally goes down. So literally, when you pop that in, now you've got your box, and then you can just give it that little rub to secure that glue together. So you've got the shape of the dress like that. And that's how easy that is to put together. Now, the little flap. Before we do anything, we're going to put red liner tape, and I put mine on the outside, on the inside, sorry, because it sits on the outside of the box. So I'm going to pop a little bit of red liner tape there. The only reason I put red liner tape at this stage is because it is construction, and people will be going in and out of your box, especially if it's a little gift. So just bear that in mind when you're doing this. Oh, where's my handle gone? There it is, because we're going to attach the handle as well. But first things first, we're going to pop on the little bow. So I'm going to use a little bit of red liner tape. And I'm going to find the end, because the end I always tend to lose. I'm just going to pop a little bit just across the top there for my bow to sit on with. You can use wet glue, but again, you're going to have to let that dry. So I'm just going to pop.
Shadiah says, Debbie, I find even after you're using red liner tape for years of longevity, I still put on some tacky glue.
Yes, yeah.
I never thought about using the two different glues together, but that makes perfect sense to give yourself
you'll
that
see
wiggle
Leanne do it the same with foam pads and things like that. But yeah, it gives it, like Shadiah said, a little bit of longevity. Now, at the minute, I'm going to pop in there little gem on the front of me, and I'll keep it in matching with the colours that I've been using. So now we've got a little top part of the bag that we're going to attach to it. But before we do, we're going to pop on, and Tracy's kindly fetched me some in. At this stage, you could be using a magnet. If you are going to use a magnet, you'll need to cover it up.
Yep.
Only because, I mean, magnet's fine, but you want it to look pretty.
Yeah,
pop a little bit of paper there. I'll use a white one. Now, ours that we sell, now, Producer Dean, perhaps you could have a little look for us for these. Hook and loop fastening dots, 50 pieces, black and white, 25 black, 25 white. They're perfect for all of these kind of style cards, and it's crying out for this. Magnets I know we did have, but I'm not sure if we've got any right now. So I'm just going to pop that onto there for now, and then I'll take that top off when I come round to sealing on the bag, because the bag, that's going to sit up to there. But shall we put the handle on?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now, I prefer to stick this down first and then put the handle on.
Okay.
Because you will have to open it up at some point, but I prefer to do that afterwards. So I'm going to pop this on first. So take off your red liner tape. And then decide which is going to be your front, which is your back. Depends what you've popped on there. I'll have the clean side because I've dropped a bit of glue on the other. Typical Becky, typical.
Crafting's a messy thing, isn't it? Let's be honest.
It is messy, isn't it? So again, all you're going to do is line that up to the top. So if I just turn that around, again, that needs to sit on the fold, not over the fold, just underneath the score line, and it'll make for a nice, clean clasp. Now what I'm going to do is take the backing off. It's always tricky, this bit, Becky, so I'm just going to take a bit of time just to do this. Just to take that off. There we go. and then close that up. And when you close it round, just make sure it sits nice and neatly. Because of the way that the box lies, there we go, that looks about, yeah, about right. And then you can seal that down. So you've got your box made, and then all you're going to do is take a curling tool, or you could use, well, to be fair, anything, your fingers, the end of a table, your pokey tool, because what you're doing is just naturally making it go into the shape of the handle. So I'm just doing a little bit of tickling on either side with your small one, and that creates that handle shape. At this stage, again, I use a little bit of red liner tape. Wet glue is fine, but you will need to clip it, so because it'll not stick straight away. So my personal preference is a little bit of red liner tape. I keep calling it glue.
Well, it is, isn't it?
Keep correcting me, Becky. It's a dry adhesive.
Yeah.
Yeah, dry adhesive, but it's super, super strong. And I'm going to put one on one end, one on the other end. It's probably a bit too big, so I'll just snip a little bit off. And then again, burnish that down on either side. And then again, take off your red liner on both sides before you pop that on. Have a little bit of tissue at the side. Oh no, I've took my red liner off completely. Have a little bit of tissue at either end, either side of you, so that you can pop your backing of your red liner tape onto it. Makes it a lot easier. Burnish, Debbie, burnish. There we go. That's it. And then I'm going to attach one to this side, one to this side, and then just finish that off with your little flower on either end. So again, I'll pop at this point, I'll use my tape pen because that's quite a strong adhesive. Let's pop that onto that side, and then that on that side. There we go. You know it's super strong when it's sticking to your finger. Yeah. There we go. I'm going to go inside that bag actually. Let me just get there. That's it. Give that a little burnish to make sure it sticks down. And there you've got your lovely little handbag made up and decorated. And that's the first part of your craft along done. Showing you how to do that from start to finish. Nice little classy handbag. At this stage, you could cover up that little flap, but I quite like that. I like that little look. And there's your little gift bag all done and dusted.
Fantastic. Oh, I'm loving this. People loving the colours as well. Evelyn said it's the most beautiful paper. It really is. So this is what we're using at the moment. These are our 3D box dies. The first one I'm going to show you here is your Christmas tree. So you get the template here, but you've also got the dies here for the embellishment. So doing those little panels and all the other little bits and pieces that go on there. I did not realise that you could put it through the Gemini, this template, to get that, and makes it so much easier rather than drawing around if that's what you want to do. So that is your Christmas tree. This next one is your handbag, which you've just seen Debbie using. Now you can probably see how that's all structured. You've got that strap down there and all the other bits and pieces here with those corner dies, as well as all those other embellishments there too. This next one is your little cottage. So looking a bit like, you know, the little boxes that you have food in, takeaway food in, and you get all of those little embellishments on here, those dies, to create all of those different shapes that you'll need to decorate your different little cottages. And then this final one is the dress, which we're going to see Debbie using a little bit later as a way of decorating the box. This whole collection of all four is £42.60 or $49.03. The platinum price is £34.08 or $39.22. Really, really lovely selection that you've got here. Pat said, use the red liner tape for the first time to add glitter flakes to a card, and it made perfect straight lines. Lots of things you can do with that. I'm looking forward to seeing what else you're going to be doing a little bit later on. We'll go back to our craft along visitor in just a moment. I'll see how you're getting on. Adriana, I'm looking over there because there's a big TV screen where I can see Adriana. Adriana, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I've constructed my little, I don't have the Velcro, the hook and loop,
oh, yeah.
but I did a little spider web, and I'm looking for other things to put over here that go with my theme. So
lovely.
This will be done a little bit later, but yes.
Oh, I like that. I like the idea of doing a Halloween one as well. Just goes to show you can make these kind of boxes and make them appropriate for all sorts of different things. Because automatically I see that handbag and I think, oh, a wedding favours.
Yes.
But yes, so many different ways you could be doing these. Oh, I'm looking forward to seeing what else we're going to be making. Everyone's loving what you're doing. Pat says the bag is adorable and I love the colours. Veronica says it's beautiful and Evelyn says beautiful as well. Right, we should carry on if you're ready to carry on. What's the next bit you're going to do, Debbie?
I think what we'll do is we'll get the box together.
Yep.
So we'll put the box together and then we'll do the dresses because we're going to put some dresses onto the front as well. At this stage, this is obviously a show craft along project, so you might not want to put the dress on there. You might want to make some more handbags up.
Yep.
You can technically do the flat handbag, but it'll be the handle because the handle is meant for a 3D project. It doesn't sit quite right on your cardstock, so that's why I chose the dresses, but also I chose it because I thought they matched really perfectly.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to put that to one side because we've done that one. What I'm going to do and what I was looking for, because I put my measurements down, Becky, and I was like, what have I done with them?
no.
I've hid them under my box. It's all right. It's because I write everything down on a scrap of paper. This is what I'm like. When I'm at home, I write everything down onto a little bit of paper. That's just the way I am. Now, I did use, but I'm wanting it to match, so I'm going to pop pearlescent cardstock.
Yep.
I'm going to use that one. At this stage, you could use your multi-purpose cardstock to construct the box with. Bearing in mind, if I just bring it in for a second, a lot of it is going to be covered up.
Yeah.
It'll just be the outer sides that you get to see. So it's entirely up to you at that stage. But I'll show you how to do it. So you're going to take a piece of cardstock. We're going to cut this out, right, get this right, 4 times. Because we're going to cut a base at 4x4, and then we're going to cut 4 pieces at 6x4. So first things first, we'll do the 4 sides first. Now there's a reason why I've chosen it at this length. It's because I'm also putting another little box inside. So it's got another little box inside the box, and then the handbag sits on the top. So it's like a double little gift one for you. So I'm going to come down to 4 inches, and then we're going to cut this to 6. So you'll end up with 4 of these pieces. Now, if you've got A3 cardstock, you'll get more out of it.
Yep.
And perhaps I could have done that a little bit better, Debbie. In fact, I'll do it on the second piece. So you've got 2 at the moment at 6x4. Wait a minute. When you look at something, you think, you're not 4. There we go, that's better. I looked at it, I thought, that can't be right. One's a little bit bigger than the other. Yeah, I could get more out of my card doing it this way. Silly me. Right, so we'll do it in the landscape way. Go to 4 inches, then go to 6. See, I could get 3 out of that now. Silly old me. Talk about this, when you twist and turn your cardstock, you get more out of it. You saw in that first sheet I only got 2 panels.
Yeah.
Get 3 out of this. So think about how you place your cardstock when you're cutting it. We've got 4 pieces that measure 6 inches by 4. And then we're going to take this one, and I should be able to get out of that a 4x4. Yeah, you can. So 4x4. So that's all it was to construct the pop-out box.
Really?
So I'm just going to repeat that again just for you. Just move those to one side for a second. We are going to make a lid in a minute, but I'm just going to give you what you need. 4 pieces of 6 inches by 4. 1 piece at 4x4. So that's 4x4, 4 6x4s. And then for the box lid, we're going to make this at 6 1/8 of an inch, and I'm going to show you how to do it, because on a guillotine there is no markings for 1/8 of an increment. Technically, and I mean my eyes, even with my glasses on, Becky, I still struggle to see that.
Yeah.
So I do it this way to get the accurate measurement for the lid. Just going to turn it over on this side, and I take a pencil, I put it onto my scoreboard, I go up to the 6, and then the first notch is the 6 1/8.
Right.
Because my box base is the 4 by the 6. It's actually a 4x4 basically.
Yeah.
If I look at that, it's a 4. So what you need is just that increment over. So we're going to go to 6 1/8 of an inch, because it's got an inch all the way around. So that's why 4x4, adding on a 1 and a 1, but then the 1/8 of an inch.
Right.
That's how I come to make when I'm making my own boxes without any other measurements, that's what I tend to do.
Okay.
So I put a little pencil mark onto there, and then let's move that to one side. Bring in the guillotine. and using that marking, taking it up to the very edge of the blade, and can you see, it's just that, I say fraction over, it's literally about a couple of those little notches in to get that 6 by an 1/8. So, and I'm just going to do exactly the same on the other side. So 6 and mark it off at an 1/8 of an inch as well. And that's all you need to do. And if you want to do it on the other side, Becky, all you will do is exactly the same. Because I'm not using this as a box making facility. I'm using it just from the own measurements.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
So it's just the easiest way that I can get the measurement. You could take a ruler.
Yeah.
You could measure it out with a ruler if you wanted to. But I'm just going for the quick and the easy way of being able to create the 6 1/8 of an inch onto there. Now you're going to bring your scoreboard back in for a second. Do you know what? I'm going to push those up for a second, Becky, because that machine is starting to get in my way. Right, moving all my scrap bits out of the way. We'll do the box lid first. We're going to put in all the way around 1 inch all the way around on all 4 sides. So I'll turn it over. I'll bring my scoring tool in.
So do you score with the shiny surface upright?
I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. I know there's people, everybody has their own opinion on this one. All I want to tell you is there's no right or wrong way. No, there's no, you know, you do what's right. Because they'll tell you with, I mean, it's that age-old argument. You'll hear some people say, you shine it the other way around and then you turn it in on itself. And I'm like, oh, it's just some score lines. And I get why they do it, because they say it's a more accurate thing, but at the end of the day, it's not going to cause too much of an hassle. And when I fold that over, so I've done all the 4 ways, when I'm scoring, I then bring it in on itself. Sorry, I realised that we're out of shot then. Let me show you what I mean by that. I bring this marker, so the smaller, I bring it over, and it gives you a really nice, crisp finish and a nice straight edge. So rather than me turning it in on itself there, I turn it over and bring the largest part down. Little Debbie Fisher doing that top tip. Mrs McGiggles herself. She did, and she said to me, you'll end up with a neater box. Yeah. It'll not be warped.
You want to make sure your box is always nice and neat.
Of course, yeah.
A nice finish.
And then all we're going to do is, now we've burnished those, is we're just going to take our scissors again and we're going to trim it the same way we would do when we're making a box lid.
Yep.
So I tend to cut into it and take a little snip, and I turn it each time and then just do it the same way, so that you'll end up with 4 different ways. Again, there's no right or wrong ways. It's just my preferred method. You might see an odd occasion where I do it differently, but that's 9 times out of 10 how I do it. And then when I do this bit, I also go back in and pop that line. It gives a really nice, neat finish to when you're tucking your the flaps of your box in.
Yep.
And there we go. So I'm just going to do that all the way around. Right, that's the box lid done. Now, that's going to be the base. So it depends where you want this shiny side to be. Underneath the box, it could be the plain side, but you could also make it really nice and finished and have this lovely satin finish on the sit that way, because this is going to be, if you think about it, this is going to be covered up. Majority of that's going to be covered up. And I want you to think about as well, when you're turning this, if you're using a double-sided pearlescent, it's absolutely fine. But when you're turning this in, that's on the outside, so that's why I turn it that way. Right. What we're going to do, though, is on all of these 4 6x4s, we need to put an score line in, and I'm going to score it at ½ an inch this time. Okay. So all of these on the, let's get the right way around, on the, we'll call it the landscape way, is we're going to put ½ an inch in. If that's too tight for you at this end of the board, just put your ½ inch from this end. Okay. Doesn't make any difference at all. So I'm going to pop the ½ inches in all of those. And I find it a bit too tight this way. I'm getting my hands and my hands all mixed up. So I tend to take it there, because I can hold this side down and put my ½ inch that way. You just craft that makes it easy. You craft to a way that makes it easy for yourself. And this is why I always say there's no right or wrong way with things. It's the way that you feel comfortable with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if someone's saying, no, you shouldn't be doing that, this is, shouldn't be like that. Crafting's not about that. It's about having some fun. Having fun and getting creative. And then when we come in now, because this is going to be on the outside, I'm just going to bring this again, just down, and put that burnished line in. And that will sit now onto And I'm going to do it on the inside of the box because I want the bottom to be nice and neat. Majority of that's going to be covered up. You can tuck it underneath. It depends where you want your joins. And to be fair, because it's a central repair, it don't really matter. No. And you can always strengthen the bottom because you could cut another 4x4 and stick it on the bottom if you wanted to. If you wanted to cover those up. So I'm just going to continue to do that on all 4 sides and then we'll stick that together, Becky.
Fantastic. Lots of people messaging in about Adriana's work. Jean says, well done, especially under pressure. Your purse is very cute. Adriana, your colour selection is really great. That's from Cynthia. And Valerie says, I love the Halloween idea. Laurel says, I'm so glad to see a demo on these 3D boxes. I purchased them last week and I haven't tried them yet. I want to try them with a Wild at Heart collection.
Ooh, they look divine.
That'd be nice.
They look divine. That's all I'm going to say. They look absolutely gorgeous because that's exactly what I did. I got that bag, that handbag, while the bought was straight out. I thought it and the dress. Oh, they look beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, Becky. So yes, definitely think about the papers that you're going to use. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop on. I'm actually going to tuck mine underneath. I think I'm going to do it this way. Again, there's no right or wrong way. It's just a preference. It's a construction box, so all of mine are going to have red line tape on. You can use wet glue, dry glue, any glue, finger lift tape. It's anything you want to use at this stage. These are just my chosen glues that are on the recipe list, as we call it, or as the things that you need. But really seriously, you choose your own craft tool kit that you work with, that you're comfortable with. Ours is just a suggestion. It's not a you must have to be able to follow this craft along at all. It's just the ones that they ask us when they ask us for the list of the products that we use, Becky. That's what they ask us. I bet they do the same with you on your craft alongs.
No, they sort of just leave us to it, really, don't they? Yeah.
You lucky thing, you.
Just get
do you have the deadlines like we do?
I do, but whenever I say I think I'm going to do this, they just go, yeah, all right. It's great. It's brilliant. Lynn Harvey's just messaged in and says, hi Debbie, Becky, the amazing CTV team, the wonderful social media superstar and everyone. I've just got back from Rome and now watching in the car for the rest of the journey home. Oh, I hope you had a nice time in Rome. Have you been to Rome?
I have never been to Rome, no.
Oh, I had a friend that lived in Rome.
You what, love?
One of my friends went to live in Rome. Her boyfriend got seconded with work, and they lived out there in right in the centre of Rome. I went to see them a couple of times. It was brilliant. Loved it. Really liked it.
Right, I'm just going to show you what I'm doing now. So I've put the first one on. I've tucked mine underneath. So for this, what I'm just going to do is the next stage, I'm just going to make it easy for myself. So I'm going to turn it around.
Okay.
And I'm going to line that up. Again, what it needs to be is under the score line. Use a bit of wet glue again if you want a little bit of extra time. Because the lights in here are so bright, I'm like, has that laid down properly? I think that might just need a tiny little bit. Yeah, that's better. Tiny little bit of a move. And then I'm going to do exactly the same. And I just do it because it's comfortable for myself when I'm turning it around. Yeah. And attaching these together. And then again, I'm just going to, because these lights in this studio are incredibly bright.
It is very difficult to see, isn't it?
They are very difficult, yeah. I know a lot of people might think, that sounds bizarre. You've got all that amazing light, but
you get a lot of glare.
Glare and the heat. Yeah. I don't think people appreciate how hot it is in here sometimes. I think they think because we're ladies of a certain age, we say that, but it genuinely is because of the lights. There's so many lights in here, isn't there? Now, all I'm doing is I'm going to make sure those burnished for each and every single one that goes in. So, again, just burnish all your score lines. Just makes for a nicer finish. And also for your glue, it attaches a little bit better as well. So that is your exploding box per se, as how it would be. And then that's the lid. And I'm just going to do exactly the same on those as well. And again, I'm going to use a little bit of red liner tape at this stage. And then we'll get on to the mats and the layers. I think I might use a bit thicker
when you, Lillian Kwok says she'd spent a few months in Rome. I had the time of my life. Rome is one of those places you could eat out every single night and never repeat yourself.
Really?
There's so many good restaurants. Oh. But people don't, people go out for ice cream after, well, even if they're eating at home, they'll all go out for ice cream. It felt like every third shop was an ice cream shop.
Really?
And you sort of think, here, they just never survive. I mean, where I live, we've got 3 ice cream shops, which I think is ridiculous. There's not that many people, and they're always empty. apart from right in the height of the summer. But in Italy, it's just like a normal thing that you go out and you have loads of ice cream after dinner.
Oh, wow. There's a fabulous one in Bristol. It's on the street there my daughter used to work. It's in the town centre. The queues, even in winter, outside. It's that good. It's that good. But that sounds lovely. I'd go to Rome just for the ice cream.
Yeah.
Let alone the culture and the history.
What's your favourite flavour?
Toffee. Salted caramel at the minute.
Salted caramel, okay.
Yeah, salted caramel. Wins hands down every time.
I always like a pralines and cream, you know, like nutty caramelly one. That's what I like.
That sounds nice as well. Now, we'll tuck that flap underneath and line up that straight edge. By having that score line that you saw me do earlier, gives you a really nice, neat finish. If you find you've got a little bit of what I call overhang, you could trim the top down, so you could trim a little bit off at the top. However, just by putting those score lines in, makes a massive difference. There you go, that's your box lid and your box done.
Fantastic.
Right, need a quick break, I need a quick drink, and then we'll come to the mats and layers and the other box on the inside.
No problem. Terry Anderson suggests that as a lady of a certain age, I have a fan attached to my Gemini 2, and it's powered by USB. That's the reason you needed those 3 USB ports at the back of your Gemini for your phone, your tablet, and for your fan. I love that idea. That's great. That makes perfect sense to me.
So sorry, Becky, I'm just having a quick minute. It's just a quick minute.
That's no problem at all. Rhonda says, she said, don't do the lid yet. You have to decorate it first. But you can do it either way, can you?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, absolutely. At that stage, you don't have to put it together. You could keep it flat.
Yep.
Decorate it, then put it together. And that's what I tend to do normally. But just because I can see time's moving on and I want to try and get as much as I can in. But yeah, absolutely. If you want to... sorry, my glasses, I'm that warm. Do you know the bottom of the glasses? I keep steaming up with them, and I don't know if it's because they're new or not, Becky, but right underneath, they get really wet.
Yeah.
So I have to give them a little dry now and again. Right, let's move on to... Oh, are we checking in with... Are we checking in? Are we okay?
Should we check in with
Adriana,
Adriana, see how you're doing? Yeah?
Yeah? Just check in and see how she's doing.
Hello, I'm doing well.
Excellent.
I'm catching up. I've got all my pieces cut.
Brilliant.
Fabulous.
Excellent.
Is it okay pace for you at the moment, Adriana? Is it okay?
Yes, it is.
Fabulous. Fabulous. That's what I like to hear. Are you on your own today, Adriana? Are you crafting on your own?
I am crafting on my own, but my niece is coming right after the show because we're going to spend the rest of the day at SeaWorld.
Oh,
no,
nice.
that sounds lovely.
Yeah.
Oh, do you think if I catch a plane when I leave here, I'll be able to come and join you?
No, you've got a
Please
show to
come over.
do.
That sounds lovely. That sounds like a lovely day. It does.
It does, definitely.
Are you ready to do the mats and layers then?
Yes.
Fabulous. We'll get on with those, We'll get on with those. Because on this section now, we decorate the inside of the box and the outside of the box as well. So I think that's what we'll get done. I think we're on par to get most of this done, Becky, so I think we should be okay. Now, because the outside and inside, we have to cut 8, which sounds a lot. Again, I've matted and layered mine. If you don't want to mat and layer, just do the first measurements and cut that by 8. Yeah. Because we're going to be cutting 8 at one side and 8 at another. And I don't want that to be overwhelming for anybody. If you don't want to do that, I just like the finish it gave me. So if I just bring that in for a second to show you what I mean, it gives you this lovely, it just looks, professional. Yeah. If at that stage you don't want to, that's absolutely fine. What it also does is, because I'm using the Ultimate Papers, which is a cardstock basically, it's giving extra rigidity because it's adding layers to them as well. So I've chosen this dark green that goes with the beautiful, sorry, but I can't help it, I love it. Oh, those paper pads. I put another order in, Becky, I fell in love with them that much, yes, absolutely.
It is nice, I really like that.
We know the box sides are 6 by 4 because that's what we've measured, and we took off ½ an inch. So we know that the measurement of that box is 5.5 by the 4. So for your mat and layers, by that reckoning, we need a 3 3/4 by a 5 1/4, and that's of the plain cardstock. So I'm going to come in now and cut my 3 3/4, and I'm going to try and get the most out of me, my 12 by 12 here. So 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. And remember, we want 8 of these. So 5 1/4 by 3 3/4. There we go. We should technically get about 4 out of this. Wait a minute, more than 4. Should get 6? Yeah, about 6. So that's my first 4 done, and then I'm going to come in now and do the same with this last piece. All these bits are scraps as well. You can use in other projects. I never throw bits away. I stick it in what I call my bit box. Because for things like sentiments, when you want to put sentiments, you know, put them onto something, you've got, and especially when it comes to quality cardstock like this, I won't throw it away. No. I could die cut into it. I could do, you know, cut my flowers out into it. So it's about thinking about that. Now, at the minute, I've got 6 of those. I just want 2 more that size. So I'm going to bring in another sheet. So 3 3/4 by 5 1/4 is the first part of the inner and the outer part of the box. So I've got 8 pieces now of the solid. Now, I am going to also cut out the mats and layers for the box lid itself. So we'll do that in one go so that we've got all those solid bits done. Now, this is when some of your scrap bits as well can come in. So I'm going to use some of those scrap bits in a second. But for the top part of the box, and you can if you want, and I did do it, but then I realised I'd put it on the inside, and then I realised I was covering most of it up, so I thought, well, that's a bit silly. Yeah. Can you see where there's a little bit underneath? Yeah. Because that box fits in, so I'm not going to do it on this one. I'm gonna leave it. A bit of a waste of cardstock. Yeah. It's pretty cardstock. Don't waste it. So for my box lids, so the box lid base is literally, and I'm going to come in at 3 3/4 again. Let me just make sure I've got this right. Oh, Debbie. 4, 4. Yeah, that's it. Because that's 4 and 4. Let me just double check. I don't want to be giving you a false measurement if it's not right. Yeah, it's 4, because it's 4 1/8. I'm just going to come, though, a little bit under 4, I think. I'm not going to take it right to 4. I'm going to come under a bit at 4. And that should fit beautifully onto the top of the box. Perfect. Just gives me that little white frame. So just slightly under 4 at that stage. And then I'm going to cut these side panels as well. So we've got side panels on there. That's the bit that I put the measurement down for. Forgot to put my box lid on there, Becky. That's why I'm like looking at my notes thinking, you've missed the box lid off, Debbie. What you like? Right, so for this we know, again, we want just under 4. Just under 4. Yeah. And then this is 1 inch. So I'll show you how I do mine. So let me come into the first with this one. So that's just a bit too... Let's use that one. Yeah, we'll use that one there. Oh, no, you're not, Debbie. Whoa! I nearly started chopping up into your panels, Becky.
The amount of times I've done that.
Oh, that was a very close call then, Becky. I nearly, for 1 minute then, I nearly chopped into me... my mats and my layers. So just under 4 again, and then I want it just under 1. So on your board, you'll see that the 1 is here. I just bring it down to about halfway. I say halfway. You can come down to this. Do you know where the grid falls off? You could just take it to there if you wanted to as well. It's entirely up to you at this stage. In fact, you know what? I will. I'm going to come in, and we need to cut those 4 times because you've got 4 bases around that. So I'm going to come up to that edge. And that's roughly around 3/4 of 1 inch mark. So it makes that for that nice matting and layering. And also gives you a point of reference when you are doing this 4 sides. Right, so that is... Let me move it out first before you put that down. That's your 4 for your box sides and the top of your box. So you've got 4 of those. And then you've got 8 of these. Now, this is when we're going to cut as pattern cardstock, so we're going to get it all done and dusted in one fell swoop. Now, if you want longevity out of this cardstock, is the camera angle, is it me or is the I feel like I'm having to push everything up to the top there. Can we just have it a little bit more central? Is that fabulous? Thank you, Charlotte. I felt like I was going a little bit out of my area. Yeah, if you want to have a really nice... not wasting. Yeah. Gut all of these out. because they're going to be on the inside and the outside of the box, so it really don't matter, and you'll get a little bit more. And there's more mats and layers for you there if you want to do that. I'm being lazy, I'm not doing that. So it's a do as I say, not as I do. Right, pattern paper. We've got all the solid papers, so we'll come in now with the pattern paper. Now, if you just remember this for a second, this was 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. I take 1/4 of an inch off all the way around, so it will be 3 1/2 by 5. And you want 8 of those out of this beautiful sheet of paper as well. So, I'll just repeat that again. 3 1/2 inches. I hope that didn't move then, Becky. I have a feeling it moved slightly. 3 1/2 by 5. And you want 8 of those. And this paper is exquisite.
Yeah, I think I might have to order some.
Oh, Becky, seriously, it's stunning. Literally stunning. So, there we go. Got 4 up to now. And again, your other pieces will come in handy. Don't throw those away. You'll get quite a nice bit out of there. And then, so I think I've got 6 out of that sheet again. Oh, there should be 6 out of there. And some other little bits that you'll pop in your bit box or you come back to use in a second, especially when we're going to be cutting panels out for a side bit. So just push those to one side. Just going to bring in that one and then just finish off with me. I think it's my last 2 because I said I get 6 on that last sheet, didn't I? So
Susie's just said the paper's on offer.
Are they?
Yeah, 2 floral pads and 1 solid.
That's good. So is that on the website right now?
Yeah, Shop the Show. Can I just pop out just for a minute?
Yeah, of course you can. Where are you going?
Oh,
you're going for your phone.
I'll wait in between.
Yeah, of course you can. Of course you can. You're fine, Becky.
I just need to order something. It's really urgent.
Yeah, that's me 8. So that's going to be the mats and layers for those.
Lovely.
I need, of course, the top part of the box. Debbie had a little bit of a faux pas with the first measurement. I did 3 1/4, not 3 1/2.
Oh.
I know.
It's annoying when you do things like that, isn't
Oh,
it?
it annoys me, Becky. It absolutely annoys me. Now, I did the box at 4, just under 4 by 4. So I'm going to take it to 3 1/4. And that should fit nicely on top of there and just give me a slight frame. Perfect. And then the same for this. That was just under the 4 mark again, so let's see if I can get some out of these sheets, because we're going to use this silver edge of our guillotine to create the perfect mat for the inner part of the box lid, if that makes sense. Just gives it a really nice, a nice measurement. And again, I'm going to take it to 3 1/4, and I'm going to cut 4 of those out. So 3 1/4. I should get 3 pieces out of that, and I might just be able to squeeze on the 4th one. Let's just have a little look at that measurement. Talk about using. Yeah, that was good, wasn't it? Like that, Becky. I like it when a plan comes together. So even though I did a little faux pas, actually worked out okay. Right, so we've got all the bits and bobs that we need now to start gluing and sticking these together. So I'm going to do that, Becky. I don't know if you want to read some more comments out.
Yeah.
While we're just doing a bit of a... Oh, yeah.
Should we go for a quick break?
Absolutely.
And it'll give everyone the opportunity to catch up because there's quite a lot of cutting in that last section. So we'll go for a quick break and we will be back in a couple of moments.
Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products with live tutorials and demonstrations. Join our family of craft experts where fun happens every day.
Are we in trouble or are we all right?
Yeah.
Should be coming in. Should be coming.
What does she do?
Exactly
what
how
does she do?
he looks.
This is awesome. This is awesome.
Get creative and craft along. With our amazing deals, your next craft project is just a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week, or you can watch us on Catch Up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook, or our YouTube channels. You can chat to us, craft along, and meet new friends by joining our online crafting community.
And I watch you every day, and it's just what really gets you through when you're really at rock bottom.
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. Crafters TV, create every day.
We get to know people from places and walks of life that we wouldn't come across in our everyday life if it wasn't for Crafters TV and doing what we do.
I got so many lovely comments from people when I started doing the presenting, and it was just really such a lovely feeling. And it's nice that people keep messaging in. You know, we see the same people, and we know you can build up that kind of relationship with those people. So it's just the fact that people like what we do and they're pleased. And I do love it when people send us photographs of the items that they've made.
We talk about customers, but really they go in as a customer, come out as a friend. The support that I get is amazing. The messages I get are amazing.
Me personally, it is personal interaction. I've never had the best of health. I've always been open about that with our viewers at Crafters TV. So many people are in the same situation as me health-wise. Other people have got a completely different health issues. They understand and they relate to what I'm going through, what others are going through. So whether we interact on a crafting basis or whether we interact on a health basis, a personal basis, we're all there to support one another. It is incredible.
The reaction of viewers when they come to meet us is worth all of the early mornings when we have to get up for our early morning shows.
Some of the customers come on as craft ambassadors and things like that, craft along with us, and being able to actually chat with them on air. Love it. I really love that connection with them.
We've had lots of shows where we've done like craft alongs, especially where we've had viewers craft along with us. We had a particular viewer, Joy, who joined us once before, and she literally made me cry on air, and Joe, because the things she said about us, it really was quite humbling that there are people out there that watch us and invite us into their living rooms and really treat us like family.
Hello everybody, welcome back. We're going to get straight back into the craft along because we've still got a few more bits and pieces to go through. I've got a couple of questions, but I'll ask those as you're gluing, if that's all right. Yeah?
Get my last little panels down. I will tell you what I've just done with mine so you can see. I changed the inner part of my panels to the other side of the paper because on the inside of my box I want it to be a bit more muted. If you want the full pattern, it's absolutely fine. There's no right or wrong way again. I think it's just a preference, isn't it, of what you like. I'm just going to glue down the last bit of my strip and then we'll start putting this together. And then I'm going to give you the measurements of the small box that goes inside as well. And then we'll put one of the dresses together as well.
Okay. Padacross says, could you glue the edges of the flowery paper and add glitter or foil? Ooh. Is it shiny? Yes. The paper, yeah, that would, yeah.
Yeah, that worked lovely. Yeah, I like that. Who said that one?
The other question we've got, not related to what you're doing here, but about acetate. This is from Amy.
Yeah.
Was wondering, does all acetate have a carrier sheet? And how can you tell if there is one without damaging the acetate?
I can easily tell you. Every single bit of acetate we sell, apart from heat-resistant acetate, has a carrier sheet on.
Okay.
That includes as patterned, as heavyweight, as smaller sheets. We used to do A3. Every one of them have got a carrier sheet on. And you're looking for the cloudy side. Right. If it's a clear one, you'll know what I mean. There is usually at the very top, so there's like a little bit of a drop down. So like this, there's like a little bit of matte and layer. There's a little bit where the carrier sheet just sits underneath, so that you can get your poker tool underneath. But you need to see it looks cloudy to your eye, to your visual. It's a bit tricky to explain when I'm in here, but you'll get yours at home and you'll be able to find it. And the side that looks cloudier is the side that's got the carrier sheet on.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a great question.
But all of ours, apart from heat resistant?
All of ours, apart from heat resistant, yeah.
Brilliant, thank you for that.
You're very welcome. Right, I am going to start decorating the box now. When you think about this box lifting up and the pattern where your pattern forms, it's going to come upwards. So I want to make sure, and I'll just show you what I mean by that, your box is turned. I don't want the pattern to be the wrong way around. So you can either turn it this way, or you can think about it, that needs to just turn the other way around, because the pattern, when it lifts up, the flower will be at the top. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Perfect. So I'm just going to decorate the 4 sides with the solid colour, should we call it, the solid pattern.
Yep.
And I'm going to put those on. And that's going to decorate the box. I'm using wet glue again. Again, I know that that one is going to be the opposite end, so I'm just turning it round. So it looks like it's back to front, but it's quite, actually, it'll not be in a second when you see. And then just continue to put those layers on, and then we'll do the inside part as well. That's the same way, so that's going to go that way. There we go. And then pop that on, like so.
Really is beautiful paper.
Gorgeous, isn't it? Oh, seriously, Becky, you need to get some.
I do. It looks like, I can't remember who the artist was that drew all the flower fairies.
Oh,
do you remember those? It's very much like that, isn't it?
Yes. Who did the flower fairies for us? Oh, that's like a trivia question, isn't it?
I can't think who that was. And I have loads of the books.
Do you?
Yeah, I used to get one each week. You know, if I'd been a good girl when I was a child. I'd forego my pocket money and I was allowed to have a flower fairy book. I think I've still kept them. You know, I haven't kept all my books, but they are books that I kept.
So I'm going to just decorate now the inside panels, and then we're going to make that box that sits in the middle as well. There we go. So we just continue, add in the glue. Again, if you've made the middle section, that's absolutely fine. In fact, actually, I'm going to pop a little middle one into there. Let me just make sure I've got my paper, because I think that's slightly moved. There we go. Should be okay. And then just turn those around. Yeah, there we are. Yeah, I'm going to have a little square in the centre, because I want my box to sit on at least a little bit of colour. There we go. So, I'm going to continue all the way around, then leave that to dry.
Charlotte Everett says, my Mr. Yodel just arrived with my pattern card pads and the Totally Tiffany new pink leopard print bags. They are beautiful.
Oh, bless. Do you know, I love it when Mr. Postman comes with all the delicious crafty goodies that we have. It's like a birthday treat, isn't it? It is. So I'm just going to pop this on now, because I've decorated it. It'll be just that little bit. If you haven't decorated yours at this point, as in put the box together, sorry, you can do the decoration now. And then pop your box together once you've got that, because it makes it a bit easier, because obviously you've got to tilt it now. I think I'm going to switch glues for this bit, so I'm just going to switch to my tape pen. There we go. And it does make it that little bit easier when you've got it flat. But it depends on how long, I always say this, because crafting, we've been crafting a long time, it can still happen to you, but I kind of risk it sometimes. And I can get away with it. Just sometimes, Becky, just sometimes. Not all the time, you understand. No, definitely not. So I'm going to just do all 4 sides of that, and that's my box lid formed. And then we're going to do the inside of that box as well, just while those mats and layers are drying. It's no good constructing and put it all together, because the glue is still wet. We need it to give it that time to dry.
Charlotte Everett says, the camera doesn't do that patterned cardstock justice. It is absolutely stunning in person.
It is.
It is beautiful.
Yeah, Charlotte, yeah. I often said that. You can see that little bit of Charlotte, and when you get it home,
yeah.
I remember when I first saw it, because I launched it down at Hobby Maker, and I was like, oh my God, this paper is something else. I say it every single time we launch paper, because it's just so gorgeous, our papers.
There were so many things. So I came into work when all of the stuff had just arrived for the month. Oh my, and it's just like Christmas. You're absolutely right. I couldn't stop. Oh, I like this. Oh, look, this is nice.
Now, we're going to do a 5.5 by 5.5 box lid and your pattern paper as well. So I'm just hoping, poor Tracy, she's not going to know that there's none of that left. It doesn't matter, it's fine. This box that's going on the inside is actually going to be used on your scoreboard as the box maker is intended. But I'm just giving you the sizes. It's 5.5 inches by 5.5 inches for both pieces of your plain and patterned. Don't think I'm going to get a 5.5 out of that. Let me just have a look. No, just a fraction. If I had not messed it up, I'd have been fine, Becky, but Never mind. It's not like I can't use this paper again because I'll find something for it. All right, let's push those to one side. Put all the bits under there. So with this, we are going to take our scoreboard. We are going to measure. Now mine is going to be the plain on the underneath for the lid, for the base, and the top's going to be the lid. So for the box lid, we are going to score this all the way around at 1 inches on the left-hand side of the board, which is the box lid.
Yeah.
And we're just going to put that score line all the way down, all 4 sides at 1 inch. Now, it is a cardstock, which is 250, so I don't want you being heavy-handed like you would be with your 300 or 310 GSM. So just a couple of gentle score lines is absolutely fine. I turn my board around, so now that the box base is a bit easy for me to use up at the top. And I do exactly the same. It's that 1 inch all the way around. There we go. Right, we'll just pop that there. And then just exactly the same. You're just going to burnish those score lines you've put in. And you're going to build it together like a box. This is your base. The patterned is your lid. And then that's going to sit on the middle of your box. Now I stick mine down because this is a box that's staying sealed, so it's staying in the box, so to speak. So I'm going to seal it in. If you want to leave it open as a removable box, you don't have to stick that bit down, but I'm going to stick it down. And then again, on both sides, all 4 sides. I think I've done just the one left over. That's it. And exactly the same way. So treat it the same way you would do with a box and construct that and put that together. So sorry, Becky, I'm going to have to quick drink again.
Okay, no problem. Let's have a look. Lynn Harvey says, the papers are gorgeous. Can't wait to use mine, but also I don't want to. I'm sure you all understand. Yeah, I have quite a few paper pads which I don't actually do anything to because I just like to look at them. And it's the same with fabric. I like to look at it and not use it. In fact, I've framed some of the fabric I've got at home. I have it in my hallway because I like it so much. It's strange what we do, but there's something about, you know, cutting it up and, well, actually, it's cutting it up and giving it to somebody made into an item like this, provided you don't go back to their house 2 weeks later and find it in the recycling bin, because you want them to treasure this, don't you?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I think everyone watching would absolutely treasure it, but anyone that hasn't made a card ever or done anything like this wouldn't think, you know, they wouldn't see the time that's been spent in it. You wouldn't assume how much work and effort's been gone into it, and how many tears and how many pieces of card have been thrown into the bin where they haven't been quite the right size because you cut them incorrectly. I think it's a lovely thing to receive a gift like this. I'm just saying, Debbie, if it was happened to be my birthday coming up or something like that, I wanted to give it to me. Just saying.
When's your birthday, Becky?
June.
It's when?
June.
Are you a June baby as well?
Yeah, 20th.
The day before the twins.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a boyfriend who was on the 19th of June, same year as me. I was 20th, and then I had a friend on the 18th, my aunt's on the 18th, and another friend on the 21st.
Oh, wow.
Very strange. No, the friends were all the same year, but obviously my aunt wasn't. But yeah, weird how it went. Obviously not, you know, everyone went to, they did, when, you know, had their kids around about the same time that particular year. And I think that summer of 75 was the hottest summer, apparently.
Oh, wow.
So all the June babies were sweltering. So that is your box lids or your box thing. Now I'm going to pop it in the centre, but this is when you could actually put, in fact, do you know what I'm going to do? Because I've got some of that lovely pattern paper, so I'm going to put the pattern paper on, but on the green side, but I'm not going to mat and layer it. Okay.
So what did I do with my spare
Quite
bits?
nice for it to be on something else.
You what, though?
Nice for it to be on something else rather than just on the white.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. On my original one, that's exactly what I did. Now we know it's just under 4, so we'll come in again at under 4 on all sides again. Let's just make sure, because what we don't want it to do is interfere with the fold or the closure. And And that is fine, that's perfect. So I'm just going to pop that down. Yeah, I'm going to put the muted side down again, or the B side as we often refer to it here.
I like the fact that we do that with paper pads. So you've
Yeah, it's
got
nice.
that choice.
Yeah. And then stick your into there. I'm going to put a little bit of red liner tape down because I don't want it to move. So I'm going to put the red liner tape down onto the base only. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put it down onto here. You can have it twisted if you want at this stage. You could twist your little box as long as you don't interfere with that fold again. Just pop a couple of pieces down, burnish that on, and then lift that off. There we are. Oh, nearly. And then just position. Because I don't want it to get stuck straight away, put a bit of glue down again, because I want to be able to angle it, because I can't see now at this stage, and I'm relying on the overhead camera to pick that up, so to help me to get it into the centre. I need Leanne's box at this point. I think that looks about right. Let me just check. Oh, that's why I'm glad I put glue down, Becky, because, yeah, that looks fine. So I'm just going to take... In fact, you know what? Make it easy for yourself, Debbie. Make it easy for yourself. There we go. That's about right. And then just... And this is when you can put a gift in there. Could be some pennies. What is it that you're going to put in yours?
Diamonds.
And then the box can sit in the centre. If you want to keep your box in, you absolutely can stick the box down. But you need your recipient to know that it's actually a box within a box, is what I'm going to say. So the box within the box can sit on there. You can have that little Katie cornered a little bit. What you just need to remember when you close it is that it'll close up. So before you stick it down, if you are sticking it down, that your box actually closes. So you could stick that onto the top of there as well if you want. I'm going to leave mine just down for a second because I'm just going to quickly do a couple of little bit more bits as well.
Fantastic.
Because decoration-wise, I knew we were going to run out of time. I thought we'd be fine, but why not? I'm going to show you because I want to put one of the dresses together. So I'm just going to do that for the last little bit. All I've done with this is I've put. Do you know those little waist pieces? Yeah, little waist pieces. I've just made myself little mats and layers with them, and I did cut measurement-wise. I think I took them down to. Let me just grab my ruler, Becky, because I've completely forgotten. I just were using the scraps. I wanted to use the scraps up, and I also thought it kind of framed it a little bit as well. The box, which I thought were quite nice.
I totally agree.
And I think if I remember rightly, I did. Yeah, it was an inch strip. By the length of the inner panel, which was, remember this is 3 3/4. So it was a 3 3/4 by an inch, and then the same way, so if I just quickly do that on the guillotine, with my little bit of scraps, 3 3/4, and then the inch, and then this one, was the next one down, which was 3 1/2 and I'm going to that first line where it stops, where there's no grid, so that you get the perfect little mat and layer that sits into there. And that's just a little bit of extra decoration, so you could do 4 of those and then pop those onto. I didn't realise Tracy brought us a coffee in. When did she bring that in?
Oh, a little while ago. I've drunk mine.
Oh no, mine will be cold. Ew, it's cold. Yeah, just put 4 of those on. And I went up an inch and then just put it all the way around so that I had it all centralised onto there. And then, do you know those flowers that we used at the beginning? Yeah. I just put the flowers down. I cut it in the solid green so that it kind of came to life. And then, of course, pop some little diamantes into there. However, just want to quickly show you with the dresses. So I'm going to pop that just to one side again, just for a second. Move that one out of the way. And to be fair, that centre bit, Becky, you don't have to do it if you don't want to do it. You don't. You can keep it as it is.
It's a nice way of framing it, though. I think you're right. It really frames that little box.
And I'll just tell you with the lid,
those little bits.
I just used, now you could use your nesting dies at this stage, but I used the Wild at Heart, and it was this one with the Centura Pearl. The next one's down with the solid green. And then we with Love Mini die that went over the top. And then again, I just put a couple of little flowers, just a little bit of decoration.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's a little bit of decoration. So I'm going to move that to one side. That's just to show you how to put that box lid together. But let's move to the dress. Love the dress. Love, love, love the dress. And this time we are not using it as a bag. We are using it as a decorated front.
Yeah.
So you don't need to worry about these. So take that right down to the bottom part of your card. And you want to, and you are going to do 2 of these because I've got, actually, to be fair, you could do 4 of them and put them all the way around. Debbie can't find a pencil, there it is. So popping that on, just drawing around the dress template only. Times 2. So take it where the score line sits right at the very bottom of the cardstock, and you'll get a really nice, neat dress template. So we're not turning it into a bag. What we're doing is we're just cutting these out. Now, I'm conscious of the time, Becky, so I don't know if you want to come in to Adri. Is she? I mean, she must be busy away, bless her.
Yeah, let's see what Adriana is doing. How are you doing, Adriana? You keeping up with it?
Hi, I'm trying to. I've done the mats and layers in the box.
Oh,
and
that paper's
I've got
gorgeous.
That's my next step.
I like that colour. That looks lovely.
Thank you. It's my fall colors that I've
Yeah,
used.
very nice.
Are they Crafters Companion ones?
Yes, they are. It's the fall. What is it? The Autumn Blessings.
Ah, lovely. I haven't seen the Autumn Blessings for ages.
That looks
that's
great.
lovely. Lovely choice there, isn't it?
Thank you.
And what sentiment are you going to put on the top of your lid?
Well, I have the Debbie's favorite with love, but
Yeah.
I'm thinking of doing maybe a boo or something since I'm doing a Halloween theme.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I like that. In fact, somebody else says, Stephanie says, the With Love die is becoming Debbie's signature. It really is, isn't it? Brilliant. Okay.
I use it a lot myself.
Yeah, it is a lovely one actually. Really nice, very usable. It's a little bit like the hello that came in the advent calendar last year.
Yes.
Seen that in loads of places.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, we'll come back to you before the end of the show just to see how far you've got on. But we'll carry on with Debbie, see how where you are at the moment.
So all I've done, Becky, is I've cut myself 2 of those templates out. How many minutes, Charlotte? Oh my goodness. So I'll talk you through the rest then, because I don't think we're going to get much more done, Becky, in all honesty. Try as we might.
Go
and
on,
as much
try. Come on.
Oh my
Speed
God,
crafting,
talk
come on,
about
come on,
speedy
come on,
crafting.
come on.
I would be, but do you know what I've done? Oh, they're there. I thought for an awful minute then I'd left my dress ties at home. Whew. Right, so I have chosen that same, so if I just show you for a second, I've chosen the same cardstock that I've been using for the box. That's the dress base. You're going to pop some foam pads onto the back of it, but first of all you need to decorate it. So in that in mind, you have got now 2 pieces of your dress. You also have a collar, but I like this one, so I'm going to use this one at this stage. And you could pop a little love heart, because I did put a little love heart in the centre. So let's get our Gemini mini again. Oh, Becky, talk about speedy crafting.
I know. You can do it.
5 minutes.
You can do it.
You think I'm a miracle worker?
I
Pattern paper,
reckon
pattern
you
paper,
can do
Debbie,
it
pattern paper.
Easy.
Well, this is when you're going to use your scraps again, Becky. So let me grab my spare pieces of cardstock. Let's cut this down. And we'll cut 2 out again. So, because we're going to be doing 2, so you can't, and you've seen me do it. I think Debbie, you're being tight as out with that one. Get away with you dafty. Right, we're going to put 2 of those down because we want 2 dress panels for either side, times 4 really, so it's got the 2 part. What have I done with my folder, Becky? See, this is because you're making me speedy craft. I mean, really.
I love it. Put blame on me. It's my fault.
It is your fault. It is your fault. Let's see if I can get them on there. Yeah, I think I should be able to. Just line that up. Oh my God, Charlotte's making me panic because she's going 5, 4. Oh.
I think you can do it, Debbie.
You want my lovely?
I think you can do it, no problem.
Absolutely, not in a million years, missus. Not in a million years. But never mind, because do you know what? You've got the main part of the box done.
Yeah.
And again, this dress decoration is up to you. So I did use on my die, I took this in the green solid. I'm going to stop because it's going to end up being a disaster. A green solid bottom.
Yeah.
That then sat on the bottom edge of the dress. And then the 2 panels, they go on either side. So you get one on one side, one on the other. And then I use the love art for the middle and I use gems. And then that very top one just around the bust line. And then lifted it with foam pads. And so because of the time, and Charlotte's now literally gone, 3 minutes, 3 minutes. Once you pop it all together, once you've done all the decoration, you've done the bag, you've done the box, you've done the inner box, you'll do the sentiments like our lovely Adrian's doing where she's choosing her own. You've then got your lovely little gift box with your lovely little sweetie box on the inside. And then your other little box on the inside as well. And I'm ready for one of those sweets, Becky, because by it, you made me work then. What you like. But you've got all that construction. So I hope you've enjoyed the craft along. The extra little bit of decoration, you can take at your own leisurely time. Don't rush it. There's no point. You've got the box base, you've got the inside box, you've got the bag put together, and I've just quickly verbally talked about the dress.
Yeah.
It's down to you to get creative. And if you do share, do you please tag them, share all your makes, tag them, tag me and Becky in them so we can see them as well, because we'd love to see what you've been creating with.
Absolutely.
And I can't wait to see what Adrian's done.
I know. Can we go to Adriana and see how you're doing? Hi, Adriana.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm not quite finished.
No, that's okay.
Snap.
So I'll share my final make. Again, I'm still here in this. I glued the bottom of the box.
Yep.
And I'm finishing the lid. But I've got my little bag, and then the outside decorations will be later.
Are you going to do the dress on the outside? Are you going to do some Halloween-y kind of decorations?
Well, I did trace it out in my copper color as well, but I'm going to see if I can find something else more Halloween-y.
Yeah, maybe some like cobwebs or something like that, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Fantastic. Oh, thank you so much for joining us. I do hope you've enjoyed it. Will you be coming again?
Thank you. I've loved it. Absolutely.
Excellent, excellent. Really pleased about that. Everyone's saying what a stunning craft-along this has been. Shadiah says, when these craft-alongs are so brilliant, we need 3 hours for the show, and we need to have a word with Sarah. Robert Times 4 says, I love this project, Debbie. I have to make it when my dies arrive. Stephanie says, just stunning. Carletta says, lovely. Shadiah says, stunning as always. And Pat says, I just love this multi-box. Thank you very much for joining us, Adriana. Really appreciate you coming along. We'll see you soon.
Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Aww,
Take care.
Thank you.
Brilliant. We've got. Have we got enough time for the photos? No.
We'll share some photos later.
Yeah, we'll share some
We've
photos
got another
later.
show later on, about an hour's time, haven't we?
Masterclass coming up with embossing folders.
Embossing folders, yes.
Fantastic.
So we're going to do an embossing folder masterclass. That's coming up in an hour's time, so join us then.
Excellent. Hope you've enjoyed the show. Do remember to come back a little bit later on. Debbie will be here to answer any questions. But what a fantastic craft along. We'll see you a bit later. Take care. Bye-bye.